What's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to this video that is going to be a first trimester recap, which I cannot believe those words are even coming out of my mouth because honestly, this has all gone by really fast. Lots of ups and downs, but we'll get into it. If you're new here, my name is Courtney. I am a mother to two twin toddlers, and I recently took a long break from YouTube, but I'm back because I want to share this next chapter of my life, and I'm back because I miss this so much. And I want to thank you all for giving me the warmest welcome back to YouTube. In my last video where we shared that we're pregnant, telling our family and friends, all of that, I'm so happy that I have it all documented to show this baby one day and to share with all of you. But let's get into this video. This is going to be a few things, mainly a recap of my first trimester. I love watching other mothers talk about their first trimester. I still watch a lot of those videos, even now. I just think it's so awesome to hear different stories, and hopefully it can help you. I like to say that everyone's experience is so different. Even my first pregnancy to now has been so different in a lot of ways, and I'm actually gonna talk about that. A lot of times you see symptoms out there that other people experience and you question yourself if you don't experience those things, but we're all so different. This is just my journey and I'm going to share it with you guys. So I'm going to go through a recap, talk about just my pregnancy symptoms week by week, and I also want to talk a little bit about our TTC journey. A lot of you asked me about that, and so I'm an open book. I'm gonna share it. And I also want to share a lot of tips and things that have really helped me this pregnancy. I mean, this isn't my first rodeo. I learned a lot from my first pregnancy. I feel really strongly that a lot of things that I've done have helped me a ton this time around. Let's get into it. I guess I can start with our trying to conceive journey. I won't spend a ton of time on this. It took us about 5 months to get pregnant, 4 or 5 months. Not a long time. We're so fortunate. I believe in my heart that like getting pregnant is such a miracle. It takes so much to get pregnant. Just the fact that you're only fertile a small window of the month, and you know your cycle can be so irregular like mine was through this experience. It's just like literally a miracle to get pregnant. And for us, we had been trying for about 4 months, and we actually decided to just like take a breather and a break just for my mental health, for our marriage. I think if you get to a point where, for lack of better words, it's not fun anymore and you're just so stressed out, I think for me, I could just tell my body was like not ready to become a home for a baby. I needed to take a breather. I thought we were gonna take like a month to 2 months off. I had been tracking my cycle. How much do I share here? I guess it gets a little personal. We essentially got pregnant, obviously, because I thought that we couldn't get pregnant at the time that we did get pregnant. So my cycle just took a crazy turn that month, and it really felt like a miracle. Like I did not think I was pregnant. I waited to take a pregnancy test until my period was about 12 days late. I'm not even joking. Like when we found out we were pregnant, I was almost 6 weeks pregnant because I just was like, there's no way. So I just feel like this baby was meant to be here and the stars aligned. So here we are. And that was really our journey. So jumping right into it, I guess I can start at like week 5. That was just essentially when we found out we were pregnant. I had no symptoms at all. I felt completely normal. Week 6, I'm laughing. I forgot I wrote this in here. When you're pregnant, sometimes you have a lot of irrational fear in your body that manifests, and I was convinced that I had tapeworm at one point during week 6, which is hilarious because after going to my doctor on an emergency visit because I thought I had tapeworm, he confirmed that it is 100% impossible for anyone in the United States to catch tapeworm. That was embarrassing, but I just was like, there's a tapeworm living in my body with my baby, and I don't know. I had a moment, but anyways, something funny that came out of that experience was I was at the doctor, and you know, he could tell I was really worked up, and he was like, listen, while you're here, let's just run a pregnancy test through your urine, like just to confirm, you know, your HCG levels, yada yada. And so we got that done and confirmed I was pregnant. And what was so funny is that I was like, Jonathan, we should compare my HCG levels at week 6 to when I was pregnant with the girls at week 6, because I had gone to the doctor at 6 weeks pregnant, my first pregnancy when I had the twins. And so we looked at my HCG levels. I was like, of course, because I know this is only going to be one baby, my HCG levels should be so much lower than when I was 6 weeks with the twins. I should not have done that comparison because my HCG levels were like 3,000 higher this pregnancy than they were with the twins. So that was just something funny that happened. So at that point, we still couldn't confirm if it was twins or not. We hadn't had an ultrasound, but I was like, Jonathan, oh my gosh, I think it's twins again because the numbers are so high. And we were like, what if it's triplets? Here we go. Oh, I had a heightened sense of smell, which has really continued on throughout this pregnancy, which is, I think, really common. Definitely started in week 6. And then this week was also Thanksgiving week. It was so hard to keep this secret. I actually made the decision early on that I wanted Sienna and Ren to be the first people we told about the baby because I just always wanted to know that they were the first people that knew, and I didn't want us to start telling family and friends and having them be super excited and then have Sienna and Ren not understand what the excitement was about. Like, I just felt so strongly that I wanted to tell them first. We wanted to wait to tell the girls until we confirmed that everything was okay through an ultrasound. Like, we didn't want to have to tell the girls and then have to explain a miscarriage to them. Like, we wanted to just make sure everything was okay. So we really waited to tell anyone. Like, I didn't even tell my mom about the pregnancy for a while. So through Thanksgiving, didn't tell anyone. So hard because I did not feel great. Keeping a secret while you're not feeling great and have to like socialize, not so fun. It was the holidays, so I tried to get in the spirit. Then week 7, I had a lot of nausea really settling in, very similar to my first pregnancy. And again, I'm gonna do like a comparison at the end of this of just different things that I experienced and did not experience in this pregnancy compared to the first. But nausea just like all day, like even right now, I don't even think I said I'm in my 12th week of pregnancy, so I'm just about to be done with my first trimester. I just have felt nauseous throughout the day. I feel the best in the morning. I don't have morning sickness at all. I have not thrown up at all, but I just feel nausea, and it definitely started in week 7. Slight aversion to coffee, but I wrote, but still sucking it down for survival, which is definitely still the case. I have been working out this whole pregnancy, which I think has been a huge help for me. So like before a workout, I'll just bear down and like take a shot of espresso just to get the energy. But my first pregnancy, I could not even like smell coffee. I have no smell aversions right now and really no food aversions, but coffee doesn't like sound great to me most days, but I have 2 kids now and a few businesses. I gotta drink the coffee. Also, week 7, swollen belly, harder to sleep, but still getting restful nights. Overall, this pregnancy, I have been getting such good sleep. I have some tips for that I'll share also, but my belly's just been like swollen since week 7 through now. I definitely don't have like a bump yet, but I'm just super swollen. And then at 7.5 weeks, I had our first ultrasound and we confirmed that it's one baby. We had the ultrasound tech look for so long to confirm one baby. I was like, can you just look everywhere? We just want to be sure. They promised us just one baby. We were really excited about that. I did not realize how nervous I was for it to be multiples. When I arrived at the ultrasound studio, I just lay down in the chair and I just started crying. And there's almost like a bit of guilt as I share that, but that's just my experience and that's my truth. I was so nervous about it being twins again. And I think when you have twins and then you tell people you want to have another baby, you know, everyone says to you, what if it's twins again? Like, what if it's twins? And obviously it's just social conversation. Of course people are going to say that. They don't mean any harm by it, but you don't know unless you've had twins, like how hard that first year is and how much you do not have like a baby bubble. You don't have a newborn bliss. A lot of twin parents just want to experience one baby. I was just overwhelmed with emotion when they confirmed it's just one, just to be able to have that experience. If I had another set of twins, I would love them. I would be better for it because I have done it already, and that's true. But if you're a mother of multiples and you want another baby but you're just nervous about twins again, you're so in your right to feel that way, and you're not alone. Everyone keeps asking us if we're gonna find out the gender. I'm like, I do not care. I'm just so happy it's one baby. The one other time we did this whole pregnancy thing, we waited until the 20-week anatomy scan because I've seen way too many videos about people finding out at the NIPT test at 6-7 weeks and then it being wrong or different at the anatomy scan. So I'm like, why don't we just wait? And I love the period of not knowing. it's fun. And then I combined week 8 and 9 because a lot of my symptoms and things I experienced were similar. Just in my journaling, looking back, nothing significant changed between those weeks. The biggest milestones, I guess, were telling the family and friends that we're pregnant. That was so fun. If you haven't seen that video, definitely watch it. It is filled with lots of love. And that was all week 8 and 9. I just continued to be really nauseous all day and really tired, which is just, I mean, those two things, I think every pregnant human is tired and nauseous in the first trimester to some degree. But it was the holiday season. We were so booked and busy all day, every day. Like, we had so many activities. I still wanted the season to be so magical for Sienna and Ren. I was not letting anything get in the way of that, and I wanted to be so present for it. There were so many times that I had to lay down, and Jonathan stepped up so many times for me. But, you know, making memories was something that I was not gonna compromise on. Like, I was still gonna push through. And then, okay, this is interesting because this did not happen to me in my first pregnancy. Week 10, my hormones were so out of control. I remember in my second and third trimester last time feeling hormonal, more so in my third trimester, super emotional, lots of tears. I think the hormones really are going through yet at that point. But first trimester, I did not remember any sort of hormonal shifts. And week 10, I was ragey. I was PMS, 3 days before your period, ragey. And I did not like it. I did not feel like myself. I felt so out of body. And luckily, I just like really communicated with Jonathan that I was just not happy and you gotta leave me alone. But I read somewhere that if you're having a boy, your testosterone and your body spikes around week 10. So I'm like, is this boy just making me crazy? Or maybe I have a girl and it's just hormones. I don't know, but I didn't have it the first time. It's really hard to compare though a lot of things first pregnancy to this one because it was twins, so who really knows. A little bit of a darker note, but in addition to just being ragey, I really did enter a little period of depression. I was just not motivated and just feeling, you know, despite it being the holiday season and, you know, having kids that really force you to be present and be the best version of yourself, which has been so wonderful and has helped me a lot. I just was really dark for a little bit during week 10 specifically, but got myself out of it and it got better. I also got the flu that week. It's been really going around this year and it really kicked my butt. I think all those things combined just made for a tough week 10. But then week 11, I had pretty good energy overall. Halfway through the week though, I had pretty severe stomach issues, which TMI in first trimester and I think your whole pregnancy, you can have a really hard time going to the bathroom and just face good old constipation. And there's a lot of ways to help alleviate all of that, but I think I just really was going through it that week. This was Christmas week and I feel like just the food and, you know, doing a lot, my body was just totally out of whack. Having a summer due date can be tough because you're just like first trimester around the holidays. It's just a little tough on the body. Things have been looking up since then, and then week 12 is this week. I've just been feeling really good. I think that I'm starting to come out of the first trimester. For me, it usually takes me till about week 14, 15 to get my energy back and just feel like I've made it. I've crossed the first trimester finish line as far as symptoms go. That's how it was for me last time, and just how I'm feeling right now. I feel like I'm crawling my way up, but I'm not there yet. A few more weeks, I think I'll be good, and I'm really looking forward to that. I just can't wait for the second trimester. I just remember loving it last time. So that's been my week by week symptoms. And if anybody has any more questions on any of that, always feel free to comment below, message me on Instagram. I love chatting with you guys. But that was it for the recap. Now, a few things that I wanted to mention. So I talked a lot about like comparing this pregnancy to my last one because I think it just goes to show that not only is every pregnancy different, but your own pregnancies can be different from one to another. This one overall, I'm definitely less sick. I was significantly more sick and I felt every symptom more intensely last time. Sometimes I wonder if it's because I have 2 kids now. I have 2 toddlers that keep me busy, and even when I'm just sick, you know, being a human being, sick with kids. I don't get super sick because I just have to be a mom, and it's like the mental strength you have to just push through. So sometimes I don't know if maybe I am as sick as last time. I just don't let myself feel that way. Also, I have had no headaches really, literally knock on wood, because I'm only 12 weeks in here. But first trimester, I had really bad headaches last time, and I've had no headaches so far. Another thing, I have not napped. I think that this has been really good for me overall. I napped every day my whole last pregnancy, and I guess I'm gonna get to this when I talk about my tips actually, so please hold. Mentioned this already, but no food aversions and a slight coffee aversion. Also, I can be around the smell of cooking, no problem. Like raw chicken, I've been cooking it, no issue at all. Like I could not be around the smell of anyone cooking well into my second trimester last time. But I'm fine with pretty much everything. Everything's just heightened. I've had a ton of cravings. Last time it was all salty food, like only salty food. And I will say I still crave salty foods right now. Jalapenos, spicy foods, banana peppers. Like I just made this delicious salad. It's just like iceberg lettuce, salt, pepper, olive oil, and like jalapenos. I pour jalapeno juice into it, banana pepper juice, banana peppers, feta, what else? Tomatoes, and like my vegan chicken nuggets. It's just so good. It just makes me... So that's very similar to last time. However, this time I have been really craving sweets, and I did not crave sweets at all last time. I actually kind of was not into them as much. Not as much hormonal acne. So I had a lot of hormonal acne, specifically around like my jaw area and like up around my face. Last time I have had no hormonal acne really. I mean, I get breakouts just, you know, regularly anyway, but for the most part, just a few, but nothing crazy, which is interesting because I definitely had a lot of breakouts last first trimester. And then the last thing that has been really different is that I have worked out this whole pregnancy. I do like strength training and lifting through F45. Frankly, in my twin pregnancy, I was advised and told I could not work out my first trimester just due to a lot of bleeding and clotting. But I think that working out has been a huge help for me, which I guess we can go right into my tips and tricks to help you get through the first trimester. I know it's so hard to work out in the first trimester when you're not feeling good, but I have worked out the last 12 weeks consistently, and I have gone multiple times when I have felt so sick, but I always feel so much better afterwards. And I don't think you should over push or work yourself, but it has really made me feel strong, and it has made me feel so much better. And it can be just 2 times a week. Like, you don't have to go crazy, but it just mentally has helped me a ton. But honestly, last time I didn't work out my whole first trimester, and I got right back into it my second trimester when I felt good. So like, pick and choose, whatever works for you. Another thing that I've done this pregnancy is take B6 every morning, vitamin B6. I read before I got pregnant that it's really good for nausea, and I think that's a well-known banger piece of advice, but I just didn't do it last time, and my nausea has not been as bad. I've been taking it since the start, so I don't know. Maybe if I wasn't taking it, if I would feel different, but I have felt pretty good. So I think taking B6 in the morning specifically is a good tip. Some people take B6 at night, but I have chosen to take B6 and my prenatals in the morning so that they can really absorb. And then at night, I actually take Metamucil fiber supplements every night, and it has helped me so much have a regular digestive system and schedule. And I think that's huge and so helpful. I think it's helped me sleep. Taking fiber at night is really good because you don't want to take fiber supplements with your B6 and your prenatals. You don't want to take it at the same time because the fiber will actually absorb the nutrients and things like that from the vitamins I read. So you want to separate them. So I would really advise morning B6, prenatals, nighttime fiber, because then it like works overnight and you are ready to go in the morning, if you know what I mean. Also, the ginger gummies, I took these last pregnancy. I definitely talked about them a lot when I was vlogging then, but would really recommend. They're like little candy treats. Just throw them in your pocket and take them whenever you're feeling a little bit nauseous. They helped me tremendously. Anytime any of my friends get pregnant, I always send these to them because I think it's so necessary, and they're a delicious little sweet treat. Ginger is a lifesaver. If you're feeling sick and you really don't know what to do, like have some ginger somehow, some way, and thank me later. What other tips do I have? So this is an interesting one that kind of happened for me organically, but I've stuck to it, and that is not eating after 6 p.m., 7 p.m. latest. Obviously, like through the holidays, there have been some exceptions for me. If we're at like a party or we had plans or whatever, I obviously have to eat later. But throughout my routine, I do not eat past 6 p.m. and it has helped me fall asleep easier. I know sometimes when you're snacking late when you're pregnant, it just can sit in your gut and make you feel so crappy. So for me, being able to eat by 6, let myself digest, and then go to bed, I've had no issues falling asleep, and it makes me feel so much better in the morning. On that note, somewhat like talking about food, protein. I know protein is all the rage right now. It is what everyone's talking about. Eat your protein. But in pregnancy, whenever I would need like a snack, I have just really been eating so much protein. Whatever it might be, meats, you know, I'm constantly finding ways to up my protein intake, and I think it's helped me a ton. Just have energy, feel good, and to not snack on junk because you get a little bit fuller faster. I've been eating so many hard-boiled eggs, which I think a lot of people have food aversions to, so I'm sorry if that's the case for you. Jonathan got me a hard-boiled egg maker, and he makes me hard-boiled eggs all the time, and I love him for it. And then I mentioned it briefly, but no naps. I have taken no naps this pregnancy, and the reason I think that's a tip is not because you should be depriving yourself of much needed sleep. Like if you're tired, rest, of course. But for me, not taking naps has allowed me to go to bed at 8 p.m. every single night and get like 9 hours of sleep. I'm so tired by the time I go to bed, and I'm so energized in the morning when I get a good night's sleep. I remember napping my first pregnancy, and it would take so long for me to fall asleep at night, and then I would have a lot of broken sleep. So really fighting the nap sometimes is worth it because you get such a restful night's sleep. And I have toddlers that don't nap, so I don't have the luxury of napping anyways. Okay, and then the last tip, I guess, for not only pregnancy but also while you're trying to conceive is the Oura ring. Not sponsored, would love to work with you, Oura ring, because I love you so much. But I was given the advice to get an Oura ring while Jonathan and I were trying to get pregnant, and it wasn't working for a few months. There's great fertility tracking with the Oura ring through Natural Cycles, and so I wholeheartedly believe this is a fantastic way for you to better understand your body while you're trying to get pregnant. Tracking your basal body temperature, you know, understanding exactly when you ovulate every month, because just because you have like a 28-day cycle every single month, it doesn't mean you ovulate the same time. Like I discovered through Oura ring that one month I just didn't ovulate. They can be a little pricey. You can get older models that are just as good, but I do think it's so worth it. And I love it so much. And then through pregnancy, I've loved tracking my heart rate. I think it's so great for you to just monitor your heart rate and, you know, keep yourself in a healthy state. And it tracks your sleep, it tracks your activity. I mean, it tracks so many things. It also gives you your like readiness score every day to help you understand how you recover from stress. Like it tells me when I've had a stressful day and when I need to take a breather. Just a nice reminder, you know, through your daily life. That is it for this pregnancy recap, tips and tricks, all the things. I hope it was helpful for one of you or all of you or some of you, because I know that I love leaning on other people and watching videos from other women during this season of life. So thanks so much for being here. Let me know what videos you want to see. I think I'm going to film a Q&A soon just to talk about all the things. I have so many life updates. So much has changed. So many things I want to share. So let me know if there's anything you want to hear about. But I am going to put a Q&A question box in my Instagram story soon. But I'm going to just start vlogging again through this pregnancy. I am running 2 stores right now, and there's a lot happening there, a lot of things coming, so I'm just excited. But thanks for being here, and I'll see you in next week's video.